piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is, if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
I'm here with Kendrick from HGAB Studios. So Kendrick, tell me a little about yourself and what made you start HGAB Studios?
My name is Kendrick. I am one of the 4 founders of HGAB Studios. I'm also the CEO of the company. We started this company because we thought it'd be a really great idea to have a really cool creative space for not only ourselves to create from, but other people in our community to create from.
Nice, nice. Now, you also have a YouTube channel and you're also a creator. Can you talk about a couple of the channels that you've had before and that you currently have projects you're working on now?
Yes. As a creative, we do have a couple of YouTube channels, one of them being HGAB, our main YouTube platform. We create a lot of really cool content on there, such as Stoner Girl Diary and a new show called The Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it spelled the way it sounds?
Yes, well, sort of. It's DAFUQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And what's that one about?
So The Fuck is actually one of our really cool new shows that we have on our platform. And it's basically, it's not a product review show, it's a product reaction show. So okay. It's kind of like a social experiment, if you will. We let people sit at a desk and we scour the internet for the most random products that we could find online. We purchase those products and we bring them to people right in front of them, and when they first see them, it's like, what the fuck is this? That's why we decided to name the show The Fuck.
Okay, we'll put a link so people can check that out.
Yeah.
Another question I have for you is, what made you get into videography? How did you start?
Well, I've always been kind of like a film nerd. I've always loved film, always wanted to be a filmmaker as a young kid. My mom purchased a camera for me when I was about 10 years old because I was driving her crazy. I wanted to recreate one of my favorite films, which is Saving Private Ryan. So my friends and I, once I had this camera, my friends and I were going all over the place trying to recreate this film that I love so much. And then it just kind of stuck with me and I wanted to create film.
Cool. I was going to actually ask you what was your favorite film.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan. Mine happens to be The Princess Bride.
Really?
Don't judge me.
Cool. Well, you have kids, so I can see that.
I loved this before I had kids.
That's awesome. That's great.
Aside from wanting to get into movies and productions like that, how'd you get this space? This is an amazing space. If nobody's ever been here and seen it, like, how'd you guys come across this?
Well, funny enough, we actually started HGAB from the bedroom of my mom's house a couple of years ago. Right? Once we purchased our first camera, our first nice DSLR camera, and we started shooting, we noticed that other people kind of wanted the same thing. They needed someone to go and film video, to shoot photography, and everything. So that's kind of how our business started to evolve a little bit. After that, we moved our operation from my mom's house over to our own home, where we based our company out of that home for a year. And then we kind of started noticing that it was kind of weird to bring our clients home. So we were like, we're looking for a really cool space where we could be around other creatives, and we discovered Wynwood. Lucky enough, we actually were able to acquire this space through Craigslist. It was the first place we saw in the area. We knew we wanted to move here. And when we first walked into the space, we felt the energy, and I looked at our landlord and I was like, I need to take this space. You know, and after I told her I was gonna rent the space, I told her one day I'm gonna buy this place, and she's like, okay, let me know. So then we've been growing ever since, little by little, and now our facility is over 5,000 square feet. So yeah, we're just growing and growing.
Wow. So are you guys planning to purchase this area?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
we're very excited about that.
That's awesome. So what are the things you see for HGAB on the horizons? I mean, I know it's a lot of creative stuff. Do you guys do other things besides YouTube? Do you do productions or anything? So
HGAB is primarily a media and marketing company. We create all kinds of media, not just for ourselves and our own channels, but for other companies as well. And then we distribute that media through our marketing efforts. So as far as a limit for HGAB, I don't really see a limit for HGAB. I feel like we're in a great space. The movie and film industry here in South Florida is only going to start booming hopefully. But yeah, media right now is a much needed craft, a much needed service, I guess, and I feel like we're just growing and growing, and we'll continue to grow that.
Do you guys plan to open up other creative spaces, maybe like in Broward, West Palm, and spread out?
So with the creation of our first studio, we noticed that there is a need for really great spaces to be able to come and create. So as far as if we're gonna open different spaces throughout the country, eventually I would love to really do that. I feel like other companies are not taking advantage of creative facilities, and I feel like once we've fine-tuned the kinks on our first space, we can go ahead and do that for the rest of the country and allow other creatives to just be creatives.
It looks like you guys are cutting edge and you guys are way ahead of the market. And I say this because just recently, Casey Neistat, as we all know, has started his 368.
Right.
This is Miami's version of 368.
Basically.
Do you plan to do other things, like maybe have a tattoo parlor in here also? No, just...
Again, sky's the limit. Creatives come in all shapes and sizes, and there's no way for me to tell a creative to not create, especially when that's what I preach. I preach, hey, just do it, create, be a creative, create. If a tattoo parlor wants to open up here and it makes sense for us, then I will go ahead and give the green light for that. But who knows? I don't know what our little city is gonna become.
I mean, this is a huge space. People don't realize how big it is. And we'll show the tour of it so they can see all the different areas they have to create here.
Right.
We're just in one small segment of it.
Right, and we're just getting started.
Right. This is huge.
Thank you.
Is there any suggestions you give to new YouTubers out there who aren't sure what their path is? Should they do studio work, or should they do vlogging, or what's your suggestion to them?
My suggestion to new YouTubers, I would like to say, is that find what drives you, and then I don't want to say mimic that, but somehow figure out how you can do the same in a way better level, I guess. It's great to look at other YouTubers and see all the great things that they're doing, but how do we improve on those things? How do we make things a lot better? So I would just say, first thing you got to do is just buy yourself a camera and start shooting, and you'll find your path.
So new YouTubers are always thinking, like, what should I do? And it'd be great to hear from a pro. We talk about how to start, but also like equipment wise. People are like, well, I just have a cell phone. I mean, what suggestions you give for videoing, sound, and editing and everything, like just for someone who tonight watches this video and says, I want to start a channel now.
Cool.
What do you think?
I guess the only advice I could give a starting YouTuber is, again, just find a camera and start shooting. Whether it doesn't have to be a $7,000 camera, it doesn't have to be anything. It could very well be just your cell phone, where you put it up to your face and you just start saying something, or it all depends on what you want to base your channel on. But just start shooting. Eventually you'll figure out a way to buy better equipment, get better things, get better at your productions. Everything will then start to evolve. Another great place to learn about everything is YouTube. You can very well go on there and just see thousands and thousands of hours of other YouTubers, how they've done it, how they do their productions, everything. You'll find everything on there. I call it YouTube University.
Right.
Yeah, we all do, actually.
I think they do also. What about like sound? Like how? Because cell phones, they record. They're getting better with the sound.
Right.
But they're not like. For instance, I have a very expensive shot mic. Not a new YouTuber. New YouTuber can't afford that. So what would you suggest?
I think one of the key things that new YouTubers should really consider when they're shooting their videos is the sound aspect of their videos. Because everyone is very forgiving when it comes to visuals. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it looks grainy or fuzzy. People generally are interested in what they're seeing. But when you're saying something and you can't hear it properly, then people are just gonna tune off. So one thing that I do suggest, if you're gonna be shooting with any camera or your cell phone or anything, is buy yourself an external little microphone. They're not that expensive. You can find them on Amazon for like $20. It could be a lavalier where you clip onto yourself and you connect it straight into your phone or your camera, and start recording your videos that way. And then that way the audio is forgiving, and so is the visuals.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. This has been an awesome thing for, just covering your company, HGAB, and tips for YouTubers. And maybe you give us a little bit of a tour and we can kind of see what happens
Yeah, I'd love
here.
to.
Awesome. So let's go with that tour.
Let's do it. Thank you, Will.
So what's this studio?
So this is the cryptocurrency art gallery. It's called Crypto Studios. Not only do we house our own creatives inside of HGAB, but we house the creatives of other companies inside of HGAB too.
What studio is this part?
So this is a little installation that you'll see when you first walk into our lobby. And it's actually created by Biscayne and Mariana, two of our creatives here. So right now we are actually in the middle of a photo shoot for one of our shows called Stoner Girl Diary. It's gonna be really cool. So this is Studio 8. This is primarily where we shoot the second show that we produce for our network called The Fuck. It's really cool because we get to use the green screen all the time. And then here we shoot a lot of products.
All right, thank you very much, Kendrick. This was an awesome time. Guys, if you ever get a chance, please check out HGAB. All right, Kendrick, thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Now we are actually in the middle of a photo shoot for one of our shows that's gonna net that. So right now we are in the middle of a photo shoot that we have, sorry. That's gonna be a lot of bloopers.